Hi, everybody. And today I am so excited to be interviewing Jenny Mitchell from Chavender.com. Jenny is a not-for-profit consultant who specializes in helping organizations raise more money through the channels that they have and through donors. Our goal is to talk about Jenny's experience and momentum. Jenny and I have worked together now for, I guess it was 3 years total.
Oh, yes.
Jenny came in through she came into a day that I ran and then into a smaller program and then ended up being in Momentum for two years. Actually, it was over 2 years when it was all said and done. So Jenny, welcome, and tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Cool. So what I do, I say that I help not-for-profit leaders change the world one mission at a time. So, I run a small business. I'm a fundraising consultant. I'm very passionate about helping senior leadership suite folks gain the confidence and the leadership skills they need to move their fundraising files forward, actually, Sheila.
Yeah.
And you've helped me a lot with some of that messaging, I might add.
Thank you.
I remember the first session we did, and Sheila saying to me, Jenny, what do you do? But what is it that you do? How is it that you help, right? So those are wonderful memories. I guess if I was to describe the two things my business do, I'm a fundraising consultant. I go in and make assessments, help people make plans, build reports. And on the other side, which I'm very passionate about, is I do the coaching side, the leadership coaching, the fundraising coaching, and the positioning of the organization. So those are my two ballywags with Chavender.com.
I love it. I love it. What attracted you to the Momentum program in the beginning?
Easy. So, I had done a couple things with you where we were in group sitting. So I was familiar with that, and I was ravenous for that kind of community. Right. Definitely the first thing that came up. The idea of sharing my crap and sharing my wins, both sides, with a bunch of people who were going to support me and challenge me was very exciting. Definitely having somebody to help me move forward, Sheila. I remember the call when I made the decision to move into Momentum. I'm sure we spoke a couple times, but it was like the status quo is going to stay the status quo unless I make a change. And so really making that leap of faith with you, both yourself and the group, I think were the two big motivators.
Yeah, I love it. And, I would love to address both of those. The peer group within Momentum is one of the things that I value the most. And I think, you can go networking time and time again, but when a group of women come together who have that common goal and are talking the same language and are there to champion each other, not in a competitive way, but in a lift you up, women helping women way, I think that's a network that so many of us are missing.
It's also very efficient because you're sitting in a room with 7 other people and one person's going, well, I'm using blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh my God, what the heck is blah, blah, blah? And you Google, right? Oh, I could use it there. Or have you tried this? Or I always described it as almost like living 7 businesses' journey at once and always being able to pluck the best parts of it to how it relates to your business. And I think that you cannot underestimate the power of having the inspiration. In other words, even if it is, training content, all those things, Sheila, but somebody to get you revved up again and try again, get yourself up out of bed, try that new thing. That's another thing I definitely got from the mastermind and from Momentum because, it's too easy to get stuck in our ruts as business owners in our basements or look at me in my basement, right? Just in my little bubble.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And when you're in that room, success leaves clues.
Sure.
And so when you see somebody else having a success, you look to them for the clues that they are dropping of what they did. And then I think the power of the group is then to be able to apply it to you. What was the biggest obstacle to you signing up to Momentum?
Money.
Yeah, right. It always is. And, I make no bones about it. It is an investment.
Yeah. I work in fundraising, so I was kind of likening it to, the first time you ask for a $500,000 gift or $1 million gift. They're just numbers, but they're also like their vibrations, their energy levels, their places, new places. And so, that taking that leap to invest in yourself at that level, is actually part of the experience for sure. Right?
Yeah.
And then once you're in, I think the other part about that is then you're vested. You're really committed to making it happen. So I think it has to be not a stretch or a challenge in order for it to be successful, I would say. And it brings you to a new level or a new place in your perception of yourself, your business, and your success.
Ah, that's beautiful. And I think you're right. We are our own best investment, and we always find money for everybody else and everything else. And there does come a point in your business growth where you got to say, this is it. This is me. I am the business owner. 80% of my success is sitting in here between my ears, and it's time to invest in that. And I applaud you for making that investment. And I get it. It's a scary investment. But you're right in that the minute you've said, yes, I want these results. And most people who come into Momentum are sitting in the high 5 figures and are looking at that 6-figure mark saying, I want you. Mm-hmm. I want you. I want to get over you. Mm-hmm. What was a result of you being in Momentum? Was there that financial reward? Yeah. Did you get your investment back?
Yeah, great question. So I remember, yes, for sure I did. And I can remember calling you. I don't know if you remember this, from the first time I signed a big contract for me.
I was in the car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I called you because you had coached me through some of the steps in the negotiation. I pitched something, and you had given me some wonderful language around, and I actually remember the language, is this the scope of work that will meet your needs? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was just a very simple phrase, and it was about the negotiation of that contract, and it was the first time where the price didn't change lower, because I was really good at dropping my numbers.
We all are.
Yeah. Or taking something out of it, or, accommodating or whatever, switching and Rubik's Cubing it. Yeah. So I remember calling you just to say thank you, and thank you for your support on this. So even there, and that was probably like 3 months in, Sheila, that first call. The funny part, just to make you laugh, was I remember you called me back and I had a house full of noisy kids and dogs, and I stood in the closet to take the call with you. I never told you that part. But that was part of it, right? Having that check-in and then go. And so from there also, a lot of the other part for me was my numbers didn't add up. The pricing on them was too small. There were 3-digit numbers. We joke about that now. Yeah. Trying to sell widgets at 3 digits and just not being able to hit the numbers that I needed. And I had, go ahead. Yeah.
Can I just talk about that a little bit? I mean, I know when we started, I remember, looking into your baby blues and you saying to me, but I can't charge more than $350. And, you just sort of like this, what am I going to do? And we just slowly inched you up. And I got to say, Jenny, the contracts that you're closing now, there are zeros on the end of that number. And there's more than one. Yeah. And, that's from the work that you've done and being open to the process. Mm-hmm. What are the specific features of the process within Momentum that really helped you along?
Yeah. So I would also equate the zeros with the confidence.
Yeah.
Right? The empowerment, whatever you want to call it, right? Trusting and knowing that you can stand behind those zeros, because it's one thing to put a number on it, something to put the zeros on. So some of the milestones, I've thought a lot about this, because how did it happen is what you're asking.
Yeah.
How did you get comfortable? Well, a couple things. Well, she's doing it. Why can't I do it?
There's the peer group
Number
again.
one. Number two, coach saying, how about you just try it once?
Yeah.
No pressure. Pilot it. Try it. See what happens. Get out of your comfort zone. Just do one thing. And I've seen that time and time again. I'm a coach as well. And I always say that a coach can't be there with you with every single activity you're doing in your business. But if a coach can challenge you to do one thing better, different, smarter, wiser, a smart business person can take that and replicate it like crazy.
Yeah.
So I really think those baby steps in the trying different things around numbers, and we can't discount all the money mindset work we did as well. Yeah. We spent a lot of time. I'm still chewing through that.
Oh, so am I. 7 years later, it's still a part of it. Our mindset has so many impact points on our business, and it rears its head in so many different ways that we can't always foresee. Therefore, we can't always mitigate that risk.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things where I've seen the momentum groups come together, and in that you can spot it in someone else, and you're now able to call them on it and support them through that because you've been there. You know what it feels like. You know how to help them. You know what you needed, and they in turn do that for you. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Who do you think would benefit the most from momentum?
So I don't think I think you have to be, it sounds lame, but you have to be motivated to do something differently.
Yeah.
So I don't think spending the money and then just sort of pushing back on everything that gets suggested is a good fit.
Yeah.
You haven't mentioned the word choice yet, but I think it's a big word that I've thought a lot about, choosing to do things differently in your business. I think you have to be in a place that, besides the investment part, that you really want to do something differently, whether it's to motivate yourself to hit a new target because you want to have a swimming pool, to try a new model in your business, something it's uncharted territory, or a place that you've never been before yourself, but you've seen others in that place and you can't figure out the gap, the distance, Sheila. I think that's a great person who's a great fit for momentum, but you have to want it because the work is yours. The group is there to support you. You're definitely there to support you, but you have to be able to want it. You may not have to see it, Sheila, but you have to have a taste for it. How's that?
Hunger. And that's what I call the woman of action. And, I use that hashtag all the time, the hashtag woman of action, but it is that woman who is willing to take that step to do something different, to get a different result. They don't want to tolerate the status quo. And I love that. And you're right. It is a choice because we can keep working in the way that we're working. But if it is possible that you want more, what you've done to get you to here is not going to get you to there. And I think what I notice, and especially when I'm in my own coaching groups, I have a mastermind I'm a part of, is that you don't know what you don't know. And so you do everything that you do, and then you're like, well, I'm stuck. I can't get, what's going on? And then you're like, oh, because there's another level of knowledge. One of the things that Momentum does and that we strive to do through the Momentum program is implement systems within your business. Not all of them are automated. With some hope, most of them are repeatable. What is a system that you've put in place in your business that's had massive repercussions, or even small repercussions? Positive repercussions would be a good word.
Yeah. So you're going to laugh because it doesn't sound like a system, but it is a system. Because when I first started, those systems looked like lists and things, right, Sheila? Yeah. And that's good. I have a file over here, and my business has grown a fair bit, and etc. But the system I think I've actually implemented or more with my staff, if you will. Right. And I would say the system is to learning how to delegate, right? To being able to figure out what has to be done and how to hand it off. I think I'm much better at sending that email to an assistant or whatever, saying this, and this is how what needs to end result to be, and please do that for me. Yeah. The who can help me question was a big one that I learned through Momentum. And on a practical note, there are, I would use this, most of the people, I'm not a systems person. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, but that's quiet. We'll keep it between us.
So I tend to hire systems people. Yes. I think of the work we did with my bookkeeper, my accountant, and getting that all structured and set up properly, and the kinds of questions we thought about on our coaching calls about the process for working with them. Yes. Very powerful. And same thing with my person that works with me with emails and etc. Yeah. I don't have to think about all the nitty-gritty technical, but knowing the systems and how we're going to work and all those pieces were very helpful for me as well.
I love that. And that is a big part of the Momentum program, is learning how to scale so that it is not just you. You can still be the main flavor within your business. You are, I am. That is our business model that we've built, but I am not the be all do all, nor are you. And so understanding who to hire, how to pay, how much you can afford. And then once they're on your team, how to shift to being that manager. That is a part of the momentum shift, because there is a point that we're going to get to in a solopreneur business that's really hard to bust through if we don't have a team in place. Yep. It's hard to scale up.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think we hold on to it right there is where we stop and we grab hold like mad and we say, oh, right?
Yeah.
And getting bigger or scaling is scary. And I think, again, that's where a group and a coach, well, if she's doing it, look how she did it. Well,
Yeah.
train her. Let's look at that. How did she do that? Right? Well, first step was trying something.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Anything else that you want to share about momentum?
I think what lives on with me after the end of the momentum group is the connection with the folks.
Because you've just been away at a cottage with some of the women that were in your group.
Yeah.
So that sisterhood is really deep.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful, and I don't think that will ever change, Sheila. In other words, those people will always be very close to me.
Oh,
You know, different phases of life, you have different things, but I don't see how, if I was in crisis or had something going on, I couldn't pick up the phone and speak to some of those folks, and I have, right, outside the end of the momentum group. What else? Yeah, I feel like they, this is going to sound lame, but they have seen me like change and grow.
Yes.
And it's a very personal part of you as a woman, your business, because our partners share our kids, our friends share our girls' nights out. There aren't a lot of people, and I'm getting goosebumps, that you can talk about your business crap with.
Yeah.
Who will really truly listen and not get the glazed over eyes.
Yes.
That to me is one of the most powerful things and support networks that I got out of Momentum. I get you.
Yeah, I get you. That was one of our hashtags, I think, at one point. I love it. Jenny, thank you so much for being so open and for sharing your journey and for being the poster child for the work that I do. I mean, you really are a success story. And I thank you for sharing it and taking the time.
You're most welcome.
How can we learn more about you? Where should we connect with you?
So my website is chavender.com, like the word lavender, but with a CH at the beginning.
I'll put it down in the show notes.
Yep, for sure. And yeah, if you're a person who does fundraising as a volunteer, as a board member, perhaps you're a not-for-profit professional yourself, there is a blog and there's some great resources there, and would love to connect. And maybe if LinkedIn is your platform, I'm definitely present on that one as well.
Fantastic. Well, please reach out and connect with Jenny. She's a wealth of knowledge. And if you ever have the opportunity to hear her speak at a conference, go and book your ticket. Thank you so much, Jenny. I really appreciate you doing this, and we'll talk to you soon.